Well, excited for another game week. Get a chance to go on our first true road game in the ACC, second road game of the year. It's a great environment there, and it's a top 25 team and really well coached team. Offensively, they're explosive. Quarterbacks playing at a high level. They got three receivers that can really play, and they got good balance on offense. And then defensively, I mean, statistically, they're impressive. I think 16 points a game, 23% conversion rate on third down, stopping the run at a good rate. Not allowing a lot of explosives, so it should be a great challenge for us, and had a good Tuesday getting ready for it.
On your look back from Florida State, anything stand out that maybe you didn't initially?
Yeah, I mean, probably the things that stood out the most was I just think that's 2 weeks in a row our guys have done a really good job of just being incredibly physical on both sides of the ball. You know, I mean, you run the ball, you stop the run, you take the ball away, you don't give it away, and you win the explosive battle. That's the formula for winning, and we were able to do that again at a high level. And I think the second thing that just stands out is Ford Stadium and our fan base. I mean, I just saw a stat. I was walking up here. We're number one in the country in year-over-year stadium increase in terms of attendance, both by percentage and numbers. We're number one in the ACC. We're number one in Power 4. I mean, just I think our fan base, the SMU family, has made a statement as we make this move to the ACC. You know, all our teams and administration and all that, we've done everything we could to be prepared to compete, but I think our fan base has made a really big statement. The city of Dallas has made a big statement that you know, Ford Stadium can be a big time environment, and you know, kind of went out and put some action to it. So our players love it, they feed off of it, it's a big deal, so we're thankful for it. We got to have it again in November, but right now we get a month on the road. So,
and after being at home for a month, do you think the team can find a sort of motivation to fire themselves up as they go into a difficult
yeah, I mean,
environment?
they're going to have to, right? I mean, I think so. I mean, look, it's everything's a series of tests. This is a great opportunity for us to see, you know, Louisville does have one of the better road environments in our conference. So, and obviously they're a top 25 team. So, you know, rowdy crowd, everyone's against you. It's more of like 100 versus 50, 60, 70,000 as opposed to what it's been the last few weeks. But man, if you're a competitor, that's what you love. You love going in there. It's loud. All the momentum and emotions usually swinging against you. And you guys got to see what kind of focus you can have. And because really when the play happens, none of that stuff matters. You know what I mean? During the game, all that extra stuff doesn't matter. It's who can focus in and kind of block that out and focus on doing what we're doing. And not, you know, because all football games go like this, and you have a chance at home to let the emotion of the moment maybe swing you back the right way. It can obviously go the other way on the road really quickly. So we got to be able to handle that and do what we've done the last few weeks, not play emotional, be intense, be passionate, be focused. And so we're excited for that challenge.
Is there anything that you do differently or your staff does differently now going into this stretch of games? You're going to be going coast to coast, changing time zones, just a lot of change.
Yeah, I mean, overall, not really. You know, the move in conference hasn't changed our travel for football much because the American Conference was a largely East Coast conference. So, you know, the only change is we'll go out west one time, which we've already done once this year. So, you know, yeah, when you get a few weeks from now, when you go from Stanford all the way to Duke in 1 week, there may be a minor thing here or there, but for the most part, no, it's business as usual. It's the game plan. The game week's the same, except on Friday after our run through, we shower up, get on a plane, and fly to Louisville, as opposed to waiting and then going to the hotel later that afternoon here. So there's just, you don't make too much of it.
What stands out about Tyler Shuck and what you can do?
Yeah, I mean, he's just playing with a lot of confidence. I think he's 11-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. You know, he's got great weapons. Know Corey Brooks well. He came out in South Florida at the same time like Romello Brinson and Rashard Smith when we were at Miami recruiting all those guys. You know, he went to Alabama and transferred. So super talented guy playing at a high level, but they got a couple guys playing at a high level. You know, and he's in an offense, you know, Coach Brom's known for developing quarterbacks and having great explosive balanced offenses. So, you know, we played really good passing teams like TCU. We played teams that really want to run the ball like maybe Florida State or Nevada. You know, I think BYU tried to be fairly balanced. This is probably the most balanced attack we'll face. So it's going to take everything we got defensively, and we're going to be stressed and we're going to be strained defensively with what they do. They've done a good job protecting the ball. Last week was the only week they struggled a little, and some of it was on special teams, and that's what got them. So, but the formula didn't change. We got to be able to stop the run, limit the explosives, and hopefully we can keep the takeaways coming.
They struggled a little bit against dual threat quarterbacks. They faced a lot of them. How much
Yeah.
Kevin.
I mean, you said we struggle with dual.
No, Louisville.
Oh, I mean, a lot of people struggle with dual threat quarterbacks. So, obviously we're gonna be who we are and play how we play. And I think Kevin has shown the last 2 weeks. We don't have to have 15 carries and run for 100 yards to be a threat. Whether it's extending plays like he did last week and throwing on the run the last 2 weeks, or at times pulling it down and being a run threat. That's kind of a part of who we are, and so we'll continue to do that. And like I said, he gives us the chance to put a little extra pressure on the defense and make them defend the entire field. And that's what we're looking for.
Having a situation where you have Roderick step in and basically be that running back too this year, or for this last game. It's always not one you want to be in, but how do you kind of go about attributing like how much of it is what he is as a playmaker and what you're able to prepare him for in terms of taking on more tackling and stuff?
Yeah, I mean, Roderick Daniels, he's kind of like a renaissance man a little bit. Like I said, I've said it before, he's done everything but play left tackle. And I hope we don't have to get to that point, but like, he's a great returner, punt, kickoffs. He plays slot receiver. He played week 2 at outside receiver. He's played plenty of running back here in his career over the last 2 years. That was the most, other than maybe the BYU bowl game that he has. He's just an all-around football player. He's really, really a smart football player. So that's another reason we can do that with him. And I mean, he had 2 practices last week and a walkthrough and went out and played running back the whole game. He did really well. So we're not limited in any way with him back there, and I thought he ran really tough, 15 carries. Between him, Richard, and McFall, and then we look forward to getting LJ back this week. So that should help our depth there.
You're expecting him to be available?
Yeah, he's been clear, so he practiced today.
And then any updates on Burchard and Tank that you can share?
Richard practiced today, full go, wasn't limited in any way. Tank's probably day to day. Good thing all X-rays were negative. He was out there in pads today, so I know our training staff's doing everything they can to get him ready to try to give us something on Saturday. So there's a chance he can go. We're optimistic. Worst case, we do have a bye week after, and I don't think it's going to keep him out for a long period of time.
And
Romello is still probably a game time decision this week. We're trying to plan that by ear. He's just not 100%, and so he was at practice today. He did go through limited practice. So kind of the same deal as Tank. If we can get him this week, we'd love to have him. If not, we get into the bye week and maybe reevaluate moving forward. But I thought Jordan and Moochie and Keyshawn did a really nice job outside last week.
LJ back, do you think you're not going to have to play Roderick at running back?
No, I think they need to be prepared for Roderick to play everywhere on the offense. We might snap it to him at quarterback. We might put him out wide again, slot, running back. Again, LJ still has a history of getting hurt. And so while he did practice today and we're optimistic that he's going to be available, we're going to get Roderick ready to play both there or at receiver like he normally does.
Jahari Rogers made his
Yeah.
announcement yesterday. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Jahari handled it perfectly. He came to us last week about, we first talked on Monday, and then by Wednesday I think he made that decision. And he loves SMU. He's going to graduate in December. He's been here 5 years. He was helping us. He was in the rotation. He was helping us on teams. But, the whole redshirt piece makes kids make decisions sometimes. And the fact that he still had it, it's kind of hard to believe after 5 years. But the COVID year allowed that. I think he just said, man, I played 4 games. I would love to finish here, but I'm not starting. I'd love a chance to start one more year. And, you get that as a coach. And so he handled it the right way, waited till after the weekend to not be a distraction. And so excited that he's going to graduate, excited and thankful for all he did for us here. And, he knows we'll help him any way we can to find a fit for one more year next year where he can try to play a full season and try to be the guy somewhere.
Do you anticipate any more opportunities for any other guys?
I don't think so. We're past the 4th game, which doesn't necessarily mean it for everybody, but in most cases, most of the guys have played in 5 games. Obviously it helps we're 4-1. We've won the last 2 weeks the way we have, but I think the guys are bought into being here. And look, no one's immune to it in the climate now, but I think the fact that the culture's good, our players deserve credit for that. They create the culture along with our staff. Guys want to be here. They're having fun, and I think they believe in this team. Shoot, we've got what 7 more in front of us, so there's a long way to go. But I think the guys are excited to play, so I don't think we'll have a lot of guys in that situation.
Do you think any opportunities for someone like Speedy Nettles to get more
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant for people to opt out. Yeah, I mean, look, that moves Speedy up. You know, I think Crossley and Smoke have been doing really well out there. Deuce had a good game the other night. A.J. Davis has been playing, and then there's Speedy. And so, you know, we're going to be smart with Speedy. We don't want to burn a year if we don't have to, but he's taking a lot of reps with the ones and twos. We have a lot of confidence in him. He's got size. We think he's going to be a great player here. And so, you know, that happens a lot of times with freshmen. They come in and middle towards the end of the first year, they start to play and really blossom, and it helps them potentially start going into their second year. So Coach Hunley does a good job of that. You know, health could dictate that some, but he'll be available and he'll be ready should he need to go in a game and help us.
Anything else?
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Coach.